how can you be sure that some biblical prophecies are being fulfilled today? In this video, we will reveal 10 prophecies that many believe are happening before our eyes. If you've ever wondered about the relevance of biblical prophecies in today's world or know someone interested in this topic, this message is for you. Get ready to discover fascinating truths that might change your perspective on the present and the future. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your opinions about these prophecies in the comments below. Let's explore these impressive signs together and strengthen our faith. Stay until the end to uncover all 10 prophecies and see how they connect with current events. The last two are especially surprising and might change how you view the world today. Stay tuned. 1. The return of the Jews to the land of Israel. Imagine a promise made millennia ago, recorded in Ezekiel 37:21-22, where God states that he will gather the children of Israel from all nations and bring them back to their land. In 1948, this promise began to be fulfilled with the creation of the State of Israel. Millions of Jews returned to their ancestral homeland, a phenomenon known as Aliyah. This continuous return is not just a historical fact, but a testament to the resilience and faith of a people who have kept their identity alive across generations. The cultural revival, including the celebration of traditional festivals and the rediscovery of ancestral customs, further reinforces this identity. Additionally, Israel has become a center of technological, agricultural, and military innovation, showcasing the ability of a small country to thrive against many adversities. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to leave everything behind and return to an ancestral land? What feelings does this prophecy evoke in you? 2. Increase in wars and conflicts. Let's move to the times of Jesus in Matthew 24:6-7, where he predicted an increase in wars and rumors of wars. Looking at the 20th and early 21st centuries, we see a world in constant conflict. From the devastating world wars to regional conflicts in Syria and tensions on the Korean Peninsula, war is ever present. With the threat of terrorism and the use of advanced technologies like drones, modern wars take new forms, reflecting Jesus' words disturbingly accurately. Moreover, hybrid conflicts, combining conventional warfare, irregular warfare, and cyber warfare, are becoming more common, further complicating global dynamics. The humanitarian consequences of these conflicts are devastating, with millions of refugees and internally displaced persons facing precarious living conditions and continuous insecurity. Do you think we are living in more turbulent times than in the past? Which current conflicts worry you the most? 3. Frequent natural disasters. Still in Matthew 24:7, Jesus mentions earthquakes, famines, and pestilences in various places. It's not hard to see these prophecies being fulfilled today. Devastating earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, and hurricanes have occurred with alarming frequency, causing destruction and suffering on a global scale. The COVID-19 pandemic reminds us of humanity's fragility in the face of pestilences, making Jesus' prophecy even more relevant. Studies indicate that climate change is exacerbating these events, increasing the urgency for sustainable solutions. Environmental degradation, the destruction of natural habitats, and the unsustainable use of natural resources also contribute to the frequency and severity of these disasters. Additionally, rapid urbanization in disaster-prone areas increases the vulnerability of populations. What recent natural disaster impacted you the most? How do you think we can better prepare for these events? 4. Moral corruption and ethical decline. Paul, in 2 Timothy 3:1-5, describes a time of moral corruption and ethical decline. He speaks of people being lovers of themselves, greedy, arrogant, blasphemous, and much more. This description seems to strongly reflect the behavior of many in today's society. The increase in materialism, celebrity worship, and cultural decay are evident everywhere. Serious issues like pornography, human trafficking, and child exploitation show a moral decline that is alarming and sad. The negative influence of media and social networks, which often promote destructive behaviors and superficial values, contributes to this ethical crisis. Political corruption and the lack of transparency in governments and institutions also reflect the moral decay mentioned by Paul. Have you noticed an increase in corruption and selfish behavior around you? How can we promote ethical values in our community? 5. Increase in knowledge and technology. Daniel 12:4 prophesies that in the last days, knowledge will increase. Observing the technological and scientific advances of the past centuries, especially in recent decades, we see an exponential growth in knowledge. The digital age, the internet, artificial intelligence, and biotechnology are clear examples of how human knowledge has rapidly expanded. These advances are transforming society in unimaginable ways, aligning with Daniel's prophecy and making us question the ethical and social implications of this new era of knowledge. Automation and artificial intelligence are radically changing the labor market and the global economy. Biotechnology, with techniques like CRISPR genetic editing, promises to revolutionize medicine, but also raises profound ethical questions about genetic manipulation and eugenics. Do you think the increase in knowledge is helping or complicating our lives? Which technological advances do you find most impactful? 6. Global proclamation of the gospel. Jesus said in Matthew 24:14 that the gospel would be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end would come. With globalization and communication technologies, the Christian message has reached previously inaccessible parts of the world. Missionaries, Christian radio and television broadcasters, and the internet have brought the gospel to millions of people worldwide. The growth of evangelical churches in Latin America, Africa, and Asia is an example of the global impact of Christianity, thus fulfilling this prophecy impressively. The translation of the Bible into hundreds of new languages and dialects is making God's word accessible to isolated communities. The mobilization of volunteers and Christian organizations to provide humanitarian aid and education in needy regions is another vital aspect of this global dissemination. How do you think technology has helped in spreading the gospel? Do you know any examples of evangelism that have inspired you? 7. The revival of the Hebrew language. Zephaniah 3:9 mentions the restoration of a pure language. After nearly 2 millennia of disuse as a spoken language, Hebrew was revived in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Today, it is the official language of the State of Israel and is spoken by millions of people. This linguistic revival is a remarkable fulfillment of Zephaniah's prophecy, symbolizing the renewal and unification of the Jewish people. Modern Hebrew, developed by linguists like Eliezer ben Yehuda, is a testament to Israel's cultural and spiritual strength. Besides Hebrew, the study and preservation of other Jewish languages, such as Yiddish and Ladino, reflect the diversity and richness of Jewish cultural heritage. Hebrew education in schools and universities in Israel and around the world promotes the language's continuity and evolution. Have you ever tried to learn a new language? How do you think the restoration of Hebrew strengthens Israel's cultural and spiritual identity? 8. The rise of anti-Semitism. Deuteronomy 28:37 speaks about the Jewish people being targets of scorn and persecution. Unfortunately, anti-Semitism has been on the rise globally. Violent incidents, discrimination, and hate rhetoric against Jews are increasing. Incidents such as the shooting at the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh and the rise in anti-Semitic attacks in Europe show that hatred against Jews is still a worrying reality. This resurgence of anti-Semitism is alarming, and many see it as a sign of the fulfillment of ancient biblical prophecies about the persecution of the Jewish people. The perpetuation of anti-Semitic stereotypes in the media and social networks aggravates the problem, requiring a coordinated global response to combat prejudice and promote tolerance. Education about the Holocaust and Jewish history is essential to prevent the resurgence of anti-Semitism and foster a deeper understanding of the Jewish contribution to civilization. What do you think can be done to combat anti-Semitism? Have you ever witnessed or been a victim of discrimination? 9. The emergence of false prophets and messiahs. Jesus warned in Matthew 24:24 about false Christs and false prophets who would arise and deceive many. Today, there is a proliferation of religious and spiritual leaders who claim divine authority, deceive their followers, and promote false doctrines. Modern cults, sects, and charismatic spiritual leaders attracting large followings with promises of salvation and exclusive revelations are examples of this. Cases like Jim Jones and the Jonestown tragedy, as well as David Koresh's followers in Waco, illustrate the dangers of these false prophets. The internet has amplified these leaders' ability to disseminate their messages, increasing the potential for deception and manipulation. Critical analysis and education about the characteristics of cults and false doctrines are essential to protect vulnerable individuals from being exploited by these false leaders. Additionally, the growing search for spiritual answers in times of uncertainty makes people more susceptible to these manipulative figures. 10. The mark of the beast and economic control. Revelation 13:16-17 speaks about a mark that would be required to buy or sell. With advances in identification technology, such as subcutaneous microchips and biometric systems, some theorists believe we are approaching a global economic control system. Digital payment technologies like blockchain and cryptocurrencies are changing how we conduct financial transactions. Some companies are already experimenting with microchip implants that allow payments and access to personal information, raising questions about privacy and freedom. Government and corporate surveillance facilitated by advanced technologies raises concerns about excessive control and the erosion of individual freedoms. The discussion on the ethics and regulation of these technologies is crucial to ensure they are used fairly and equitably. The possibility of a futuristic society where economic control is absolute brings up questions about the nature of human freedom and the dangers of technological authoritarianism. Do you have concerns about privacy and economic control in a digitized future? What are your opinions on the use of advanced technologies for identification and financial transactions? Reflections and practical applications. These prophecies offer us an intriguing perspective on the times we live in. While interpretations may vary, many see current events as signs that the words written in the Bible are unfolding before our eyes. These reflections can motivate us to act more ethically and compassionately. Regardless of religious beliefs, the principles of justice, peace, and love for one's neighbor promoted by the Bible are universal values that can contribute to a better world. The prophecy about the increase in knowledge reminds us of the importance of education and science, encouraging us to use knowledge for the benefit of humanity. The warning about moral corruption invites us to examine our own lives and work to improve our personal and social conduct. In a rapidly changing world, it is vital that we maintain our ethical values and principles, using the lessons of biblical prophecies to guide our actions and decisions. After hearing about these prophecies, how do you feel about the future? What changes are you inspired to make in your life? As we observe these signs, we are called to greater introspection and spirituality, always seeking the truth and wisdom that transcend time. Biblical prophecies not only offer us a vision of the future, but also challenge us to live more consciously and meaningfully in the present. May we use this knowledge to build a more just and loving world, aligning our actions with the high principles the Bible teaches us. May these reflections inspire us to seek a life of purpose and to work together for a better future, where justice, peace, and compassion prevail. How do you plan to use this knowledge to improve your life and the lives of those around you? These biblical prophecies, viewed in light of current events, show us that we are living in unique and challenging times. With each observed sign, we are called to reflect on our lives and our faith. Now, more than ever, it is essential to seek knowledge and discernment so that we can face the future with hope and courage. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Prayer, Stories, and Comfort channel. Leave your like and activate the bell to receive notifications of our upcoming videos. Share this content with friends and family who might also benefit from this message. We would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Which of these prophecies impacted you the most? How do you think we can apply these teachings in our daily lives? It is important to remember that the interpretation of biblical prophecies is complex and can vary according to each individual's belief and perspective. The video presents just one view of the prophecies and is not intended to be an exhaustive analysis of the topic. It is up to each person to decide whether or not they believe the prophecies are being fulfilled and what they mean for their own lives. And remember, our journey of faith is continuous, and we are all in this together. Let's keep exploring the Bible, seeking understanding, and strengthening our spirituality. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.